live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News Broadcast. We are coming to you live from Rupavahini's News Studios. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
And I'm Nikith Karunaratne. We'll start off with the headlines as usual. The death toll in the Myanmar earthquake exceeds 1,000. The Elephant Pass Sultan delivers Raja salt from today. The NPP begins its local government election campaign from Beliatta. An SJB program takes place in Kegol. An extra Tuesday holiday from Muslim schools. Soaring environmental temperatures in several districts.
Now for this and other stories in detail. More than 1,600 people have been killed in Myanmar and thousands more injured following a 7.7 magnitude earthquake that was also felt in neighboring countries.
In Myanmar, it is reported that at least 6 aftershocks were reported throughout the night. The International Federation of the Red Cross in Myanmar said millions of people are at risk following yesterday's earthquake. The initial estimates suggest that over 18 million people live within the earthquake-impacted area, so the death toll and the injured figures are expected to keep increasing. A Red Cross official tells news outlet agency France Presse that more than 90 people could be trapped in the collapsed remains of an apartment block in Mandalay in Myanmar. Among the buildings that collapsed in Kyaukse in the Mandalay region was a preschool. Rescue workers said that the bodies of 12 preschool children and a teacher were found this morning. More are said to be trapped inside the collapsed building, and chances of survival became bleaker with time. There were unconfirmed reports that around 50 children and 6 teachers were missing after the building collapsed. The military government of Myanmar said that 1,591 houses have been damaged in the Mandalay region, the epicenter of the earthquake. Hundreds are believed to be trapped under the rubble of collapsed buildings, including at least 50 construction workers who are unaccounted for after a high-rise was flattened by the earthquake in Bangkok. The Bangkok Municipality Authority has also released updated figures. It said 10 people are confirmed dead, 42 injured and 78 still missing.
After that devastating news from Myanmar, we are continuing with news from home. The National Salt Company has commenced its production process named Raja Salt at the Elephant Pass Sultan today. The aim is to manufacture 20,000 metric tons of salt within this year. Ministers Sunil Handuneti and Ramalingam Chandrasekhar presided over the inauguration of the project. The factory, equipped with modern machinery and facilities, is able to produce 5 metric tons of salt in an hour. The company is scheduled to release to the market table salt in 1 kilogram and 400 gram quantities at a minimum price. The program has enabled to procure 450 direct and indirect jobs. The high-quality salt at the Elephant Pass Sultan is popular both locally and internationally. The present management has been able to recommence production, which was stalled due to war. The Raja Salt manufacturing plant extends direct benefits to the people in the northern province as well as to the national economic development. Minister Sunil Handuneti has recalled how they were fallen to the state of importing even staple food like maize from abroad. The local cultivation sector was in the lowest level. The present government takes pleasure in elevating the production process, at least to some extent. One such fallen industry was the salt industry. However, today the National Salt Company in Elephant Pass has inherited to the nation a rich deposit of salt. This also means the people in this northern province had been given the right to earn an income and to eliminate poverty. The government hopes to manufacture the entire salt requirement of the country in due course and also to enter into the export market as well. This venture would pave the way to earn more dollars to the country. Now, the Raigam Telly's 2024 awards ceremony is being conducted at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. The award for the most excellent TV sports program of the year was presented for the Cricket Gamata program produced by Germany Le Peruma. Atsela Bandar Naiko has won the award for the Vare program as the most excellent TV documentary. The Sun Yuga program, produced by Suminda Tilakasena, has won the award for the best TV magazine program of the year, and Pranitha Koneshwaran has won the award for the most excellent Tamil TV presenter.
In the meantime, President Anurakkumara Dissanayake says that guarantee-free loans will be provided for small and medium sector entrepreneurs to commence new businesses. He has made these remarks addressing a public meeting in Beliyatta today. The first of a series of island-wide public rallies organised by the National People's Power in connection with the upcoming local government election was held at the Beliyatta Pradeshya Sabha grounds today. Massive crowds have attended the rally held under the theme Jayaniyatai Gama Apatai. President Anurakkumara Dissanayake said that they had promised at the election campaign to provide a loan without a guarantee for small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. This pledge has been fulfilled. Accordingly, a youth entrepreneur is able to receive the facility by producing the Ministry of Industry's details of the project without placing a guarantee. The government is in the process of formulating its future economic plans. They believe that this year would become the year which creates many records. The year 2025 would become the year Sri Lanka would earn the highest amount of export revenue. This year would also become the year in which Sri Lanka earns the highest amount of dollars by exporting goods and services. The year 2025 would also become the year which expatriates the Sri Lankans remitting the highest amounts of dollars to the island through their employment. The bank interest, which were between 33 or 34%, has come down to 10% today. This is an extremely good opportunity for the manufacturing sector. Further discussions are underway with the banks to provide more credit to small and medium-scale entrepreneurs at low interest rates. The President has recalled the days when the dollar exchange value was about 300 and even up to 400 rupees.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says people expect answers and solutions to the problems. He was addressing a public meeting of the Samigijana Balavega, which was attended by Kegol district candidates of the party. At the meeting, SJB candidates and Kegol district parliamentarians were enlightened on the forthcoming local government election. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that people of the country had elected a new president, giving him a mandate. The voters had given an even more excellent victory in the parliamentary election, handing over of more than two-third victory. What the people expect was answers to their problems or solutions.
Now, the PAFREL organization says more than 400 nominations in the local government election have been rejected. Executive Director of the organization, Rohana Hettiarachchi, has made these remarks at a media briefing in Colombo today. Executive Director of the PAFREL organization, Rohana Hettiarachchi, said that a regrettable feature has been the rejection of more than 400 nominations. More than half of the nominations were handed over in the final stages of the process. In some districts, there had been attempts to hand over nominations in the final half an hour of the procedure. This hastiness is attributed to be a major reason for rejection of nomination papers. The aim of the organization is to play an intermediary role in preventing the occurrence of such incidents in the future.
A walk to educate the general public on road safety and prevention of accidents took place in Colombo today. The theme of the event was preventing road accidents and road safety. A group including Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa has taken part in this walk. The march, which commenced from the Golf Face Green, Colombo, has arrived at the Vihara Mahadevi Park via the Liberty Roundabout. The event was jointly organised by the Minister of Health and Mass Media, the Sri Lanka Medical Association, Specialized Committee on the Prevention of Road Accidents, the Transport Ministry and several other institutions. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that every 4 hours a life is lost in the country due to road accidents. He said that when looking at the lives lost in these incidents, they are some of the most important members of the country's workforce. The minister also said that the current situation indicates that our efforts to prevent road accidents are at very basic level, and finding the reasons behind this is not something that can be addressed superficially and requires a highly scientific approach.
The Ministry of Education has decided to grant a holiday for Muslim schools on next Tuesday in account of the Ramazan festival. Next Monday has already been declared a holiday. The ministry further informs that an extra school day is scheduled to be made in light of this holiday. The ministry is expected to make an announcement in this regard later on.
Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe reiterates that to eliminate frauds and corruption in local government institutions. He has made these remarks in Colombo today. Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe said that in the first budget itself, the government has provided a substantial salary increase for the state as well as for private sector. It is only after 9 years since the year 2016 that problems pertaining to the basic salary of government servants were resolved. However, all problems would not come to an end with these measures. The government servants are now able to act with a sense of satisfaction over the significant pay hikes. A sum of around 1,315 million rupees has been set aside for numerous development projects. The local government institutions of today had become popular due to numerous forms of frauds that were taking place. These institutions had failed to deliver the basic requirements of the people. The Deputy Minister further said that they believe that the voters should extend more power to the present government to enable them to engage.
And now shifting our focus to the weather condition, the Department of Meteorology says hot weather index is at a concerned state in certain locations in the island. The areas that have come under attention are the northern, north central and northwestern provinces, as well as the districts of Trincomalee, Batticaloa, Colombo and Gampaha. The department has come into conclusion based upon data analysis on models of global mathematical weather forecasting, measuring atmospheric humidity and maximum temperatures. According to the index, exposure to sunlight for a longer period of time and engaging in strenuous activities would lead to exhaustion. The general public has also been warned to be vigilant on instances such as dehydration, muscle cramps due to salt ejection caused due to high temperature and high exhaustion. Remedial measures include drinking of adequate volumes of water, staying in shady areas, restricting actions that give rise to tiredness, and focusing more attention on adults and small children.
AMSEF Sri Lanka is a manufacturing company with the parent company based in USA, which manufactures aviation products. AMSEF contributes to the country's manufacturing industry, contributing for the country's GDP. AMSEF CEO and General Manager Chandani Ekanayaka explains the opportunities in the aviation manufacturing industry in Sri Lanka, which is to be further expanded.
AMSEF Bridport is a 100% American company. And we are into manufacturing. We manufacture aviation products. They are part of aircrafts and they are equipments of aviation cargo transportation. And when AMSEF came into Sri Lanka, we were doing component of the whole value chain only, and thereafter gradually we started taking over little by little. That is, since in the country we have the capability, commitment to quality. The quality consistency is very key in aviation sector. So with all that, over the time we have been able to take over design, development to after sales service, the whole chain. Definitely in the aviation sector, the long-term focus is quite important, because in the short run even a product development is not possible. It takes a bit of a time. So aircraft manufacturing rate is significantly increasing, and air cargo transportation as well as passenger transportation is significantly increasing in the world. So with all that, we see huge opportunity for us to even expand further, not limiting even to the product groups that we do now, even expanding even further. So we are directly working with global #1 aircraft manufacturers as well, and with them we have long-term agreements for growth.
The Board of Investment is geared in investment mainly in the manufacturing sector, which would result in creating more jobs for people of other areas such as tourism. These remarks were made by Director General of the BOI Renuka Veerakon in an exclusive interview with the national television.
The Board of Investment is geared at looking for investments into various sectors. We mainly like to encourage the manufacturing sector, because that is one of the areas through manufacturing that we can create a lot of employment opportunities. of course the focus stays on manufacturing, while we also open out to other different areas like the tourism sector, where the hotel industry is growing under the BOI. We have the mixed development projects where apartments and recreational activities happen. We also have the logistics, which is very key for Sri Lanka, where the logistics sector is really thriving due to the geographical location of our country. Then we also have the projects in the power sector, the energy sector, where we are with the aim of reaching 70% renewable energy being the source by 2030. We are also very much inclined to support and encourage investments into the wind and solar power sector. Of course, this does not limit the other areas that we want to encourage investments. The IT sector still plays a very big and vital role in the attraction and in the operations in Sri Lanka. So the limits are never there. We are always open to new areas of investment. But the thrust, as I said earlier, would be these main key areas, and we are very much focusing on attracting foreign investments as well as encouraging local investors to also come into the BOI and establish their operations.
The day-long conference that explored how Sri Lanka can strategically leverage its proximity and connectivity to India in emerging global economic powerhouse to enhance exports, attract investments and drive sustainable economic recovery was recently held. The conference, titled Riding the Indian Wave, world's fifth largest economy on Sri Lanka's shores, was hosted by Variety Research with the support of High Commissioner of India, Colombo and Haley Advantis. Deputy High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Dr. Satyanjal Pandey, delivered the welcome remarks highlighting how India's multi-sectoral advancements can contribute to regional prosperity. He underlined the India's opportunity for Sri Lanka, particularly in areas of technology, logistics and skill development. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Arun Hemachandra emphasized the special bonds between India and Sri Lanka as a unique strength.
I must also underline that as much as India's own ambitions are important, it is also the ambition of our neighbors in the region which would propel success of regional prosperity. Our objective is to increase India's share in global trade from current less than 0.03% to at least 10% by 2040s. We stand ready for an ambitious and reformed free trading agreement under the Economic, Technology and Cooperation Agreement with Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, placed at a geostrategic location and at the shores of an ambitiously targeting 30 trillion economy, opportunities for Sri Lanka are abound. There is a fundamental value in our integrating ports and logistics fairways between our two countries and others in the region. Our ambitious logistic infrastructure expansion would have a multiplier effect in the form of regional interconnectivity and usher deeper linkages with multilateral initiatives.
In an exclusive interview with the national television, Graham Acton briefs the collaboration of the Asia Media Centre, which helped New Zealand media journalists access enterprise on Asia and Asian people's culture. The Asia Media Centre also provides contextual information, such as on emerging issues in Asia.
Mr. Acton, if you can brief us, now what made you get into media or journalism? What was your story, how you initiated, and what made you believe in this, in connecting people, in having these collaborations?
I think probably, I've been a journalist for a long time. I've worked in the public broadcaster in New Zealand for most of my time in journalism. And I was lucky enough to be the beneficiary of media grants myself when I was working with Radio New Zealand, which is based in Wellington but broadcasts across the country. So I experienced the foundation as a beneficiary, if you like, of their help in the early years on a few occasions, and I became interested in what they were doing. And then through that I became more interested in Asia and New Zealand's relationship with Asia. I want to be able to see young New Zealand journalists understanding more about Asia and understanding more about countries like Sri Lanka, and breaking away from the bubble that New Zealand is in to a certain extent. New Zealand is far away from everywhere. It's very self-centered countries in some ways. We're very worried about what's going on ourselves inside our little country. And the New Zealand media, in my view, has to be able to look out across the horizon much more than it does. And so I think the Asian New Zealand Foundation is exactly the vehicle for that in the New Zealand media. And as far as the interns and the media grants, etc., it's a perfect way to enable the members of the New Zealand media to get that experience.
Now, I understand the fact that New Zealanders are going to visit Sri Lanka in this program, but it can be the other way as well, where the Sri Lankans can also be a part, where they can also visit. That's what I understood. Will that be also possible? And what are the possible prospects for that?
I think there may be a possibility for that. Certainly, the foundation would look at possibly funding Sri Lankan journalists to come to New Zealand to have a look at what's going on in New Zealand.
And we have more news from home in brief. Former Municipal Councillor Kitsri Rajapaksa, who has been arrested in connection with storming into a house in Dematagota and threatening and scolding the residents, was released on a cash bail of 500,000 rupees by the Colombo Magistrate Court. A concert organised by the Mitru Piasa of Kaluganthota and Kopai was held in Kalutara yesterday. The aim of the event was to enhance cooperation and coexistence between the communities in the northern and southern provinces. Many cultural features symbolizing provinces were included in the program, and Alut Sahal Mangalya, to offer the prime portion of paddy harvest of the farmers, was held at the historic Vidyagoda Mahaviharaya. The Pinkama was conducted under the patronage of Chief Incumbent of the Vihara, Venerable Valgama Daminda Thera. Many programs have been successfully organized on behalf of the gallant soldiers at the Abhimansala Rehabilitation Centre. Director of Ranaviru Seva and Rehabilitation Brigadier Ranjan Vijayadasa says the aim of the program was to enhance the courage of the heroic soldiers.
Now, we here in Sri Lanka have learned from past experiences. We have a history of people being killed due to collapsing of garbage mountains. This video forces us to question from ourselves why we are compelled to live in great difficulty while staying in a beautiful country. Foreign visitors travel to our island in order to feel the beauty of nature. However, Sri Lankans appear to not be thinking in this manner. This story is about a Russian family which was motivated by enhancing the environment of Sri Lanka. Members of this Russian family have got onto the streets to fulfill a responsibility which we had forsaken. We have to think, when are we going to correct our shortcomings?
That certainly is an inspirational story. And with that, we go on for a short break, and we'll be back with international stories after the break.
Prima Kottumi, Fantamai. Prima Kottumi, Fantamai.
Israeli military struck southern Beirut for the first time since November after Israel said that 2 projectiles had been fired from Lebanon. Israel Defense Forces said it struck this terrorist infrastructure site used to store unarmed aerial vehicles by Hezbollah's aerial unit in the area of Dahia, a key Hezbollah terrorist stronghold in Beirut. The Israel Defense Forces said Hezbollah systematically embeds its terrorist infrastructure amidst the Lebanese civilian population, a clear example of Hezbollah's cynical exploitation of Lebanese civilians as human shield. The strike came after Israel accused Hezbollah of launching 2 rocket attacks from southern Lebanon that crossed Israel's border. Hezbollah has denied this and said it is committed to its ceasefire with Israel.
And on sports news for tonight, Sri Lankan powerlifter Ransilu Jayatilaka has secured the gold medal in the 120 kg weight class at the 2025 Asia Pacific Powerlifting Championships held in Melbourne, Australia. He has secured this unique victory by overcoming strong challenges from Australia, Tonga and Samoa. With this victory, Ransilu Jayatilaka has now won 3 gold medals at the World Powerlifting Asia Pacific Championship.
And the Royal Challenger Bangalore team beat the Chennai Super Kings team by a margin of 50 runs in Chennai yesterday. This was the first instance of the Royal Challengers team securing a victory against the Chennai team after a lapse of 17 years. The Chennai Super Kings team, after winning the toss, has decided to field first. According to the Royal Challengers Bangalore team, batsmen came to the field and collected 196 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in the 20 allotted overs. The highest scorer was captain Rajat Patidar, who hit 51 runs. Successful wicket takers were Noor Ahmed and Matisha Patirana, who had taken care of 5 wickets. The Chennai Super Kings, chasing a victory target of 197 runs, stopped short with scoring only 146 runs within the 20 overs. Opener Rachin Ravindra scored 41 runs while George Hazelwood took 3 wickets for the victorious team. It was only after the year 2008 the Royal Challengers Bangalore team recorded a victory against the Chennai Super Kings team in Chennai. That's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm Dilanjali together with Niket signing off. Good night.
Good night.